Welcome back, guys, to the Over the Line podcast.
Good mix till morning.
we got Dunster back again.
Yep. I'm Caleb.
Connor.
Dunster.
Dunster. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, this is a big catch-up episode for us.
Yeah. We'll get into more each thing as we go. A lot of stuff to talk about in terms of just kind of a little wrap up of the NBA Finals, the season overall as a whole, the draft coming up, and we're even going to get into a little bit of Hornets and Pistons talk. So, which we haven't really got into yet because everything so far has kind of been what's going on in the playoffs. And now that we're all done, this is a little bit more of what you can come to expect in terms of the type of content we're doing. It's more of just kind of like looking forward to the season that's going to be coming up in the 2024-2025 season. And, we're going to be doing some tier ratings. We're starting off with a bang. We're doing the, what's it called? The Wordle for...
Oh, yeah, we're doing the Purtle. That's
Purtle.
what it's called.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know that.
That's the basketball Wordle.
That's the basketball Wordle. It's like Weddle, but for the NFL. Shout out also to our good buddies, Isaac, Alex, Rowe, and Jack Witt. Their podcast, they shouted us out a couple weeks ago. Go check out You Don't Know Ball on Spotify or YouTube. Good football podcast run by some good friends of ours, so pretty entertaining. So,
they do some other sports too. It's kind of overall sports, but I think they kind of specialize in college football and NFL for sure.
They know their shit.
But yeah, we're gonna start with the Purtle. That's basically our version, our Wordle. So you guys want to look at the computer screen here on YouTube? I can screen record this and maybe pull it up. So I guess I'll.
Have you done the Purtle before? I haven't done it since
I haven't done it in a long time.
I think I tried, but the thing is, I just don't know ball like that, so I just couldn't.
I haven't done it since freshman year. Me and Cade and Coach
Would you guys do it every day?
We did it every day for like a couple months back in like freshman year in the dorms. Yeah. But I have not done it since, so I'm actually kind of excited to do it.
All right,
I can't even do like the football one because I do I only do like fantasy football positions. Like if it's anything like defense or like online.
Is it only like current? Like
I think it is current NBA players.
I thought.
So here we are. This is it. Purtle, which I don't even know. This site has been updated and moved. Okay.
There's no R in that.
All right, Donnie. So we have 8 guesses, so we can do this. Donnie, you can start us off. Give us a player.
What's going to happen? It's going to wait. We get to see the silhouette, right? Show the silhouette, the dark silhouette.
Oh, that might give it away.
Looks like Giannis.
Right away, I'm thinking it's like Giannis or like
Giannis. That could be MPJ.
It can be the first guess.
It could be MPJ too. Maybe, who do you want, Donnie?
Let's start with Giannis, I think.
Let's start with MPJ.
You want to start with MPJ?
All right.
Come on, Michael never passed the ball forward.
All right, okay, it's a forward. He's over 6'10", so it
looks like Giannis.
It's probably Giannis. That's got to be Giannis,
dude.
We shouldn't have showed the silhouette, bro.
Yeah, we shouldn't have showed the silhouette.
I think we should do another game.
We can do another one. That was a little too easy.
Let's do an NBA. Dude, how did we get Giannis for the first one?
Yeah, they're normally not that easy.
Just search like NBA Wordle. Let's see what pops up.
All right, man. NBA Wordle. Here we go. So no silhouettes this time.
Okay.
There's
the same thing.
Let's not view the silhouette.
All right, Dunny, you can go first guess.
Hopefully it's just not Giannis again.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Give me Thon Maker.
I don't think he's in the league anymore.
Oh, he's not? Jeez, poor guy.
Nah, he was on the Pistons last time.
Let's do...
Common theme with Pistons players. They get out of the league quick.
Who's that guy in the Mavs? Finney?
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith.
His brother not... Oh, he's right here. Okay.
All right. So
I picked Tyler Dorsey on accident, bro.
Okay, well...
Shoot.
It's not Tyler Dorsey.
We can just guess Dorian again.
Well, is he...
Yeah, he'd be taller. He'd probably be older.
Yeah, but he's... Okay.
Tyler Dorsey's not even in the league. Okay, well, we know it's a forward.
And he's taller than
tall boy.
6'7".
He's old.
And a higher jersey number. So let's think bigs. It's your guess.
Bojan Bogdanovic?
Go ahead.
Dude, we're Bojan.
Is Bojan?
Well, he's not also...
He's a forward, and he's
6'9". Doesn't this mean that... Does it do like
It means he's not in the East.
It's not Bojan then.
Okay.
I don't know divisions like that.
A big West player.
It's not Kawhi. It's because
there's a lot of guys you could go with. Just say Jokic. Well, he's a forward. We know he's a forward, so it's not.
Yeah.
Maybe MPJ would be a good guess here, but he's not older than 31.
He's not older. That'd be a pretty tall guy.
Yeah, tall forward. Forwards nowadays are like 6'5".
Why don't we guess Anthony Davis?
NBA.
He's not. He's center though, and he's not older than 31.
He's a power forward.
He's not older than 31 though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's like 29 right now.
Okay. I thought he was around like 32.
And Anthony Davis's jersey number, is it that high?
How about
It's a high jersey number too. So
How about he's not in the East?
We could do like Paul George.
Paul George.
it's not gonna be PG. He plays shooting guard,
I thought he was more of a
and he's
small
13
forward.
anyway. He's number
You
13.
can't be looking at stuff now.
I need to be like, I'm just looking at teams.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
fair.
doing
That's
this
fair. That's fair.
For the sake, because
You can look
you
at
guys
teams.
know.
Okay,
teams.
what about like KD?
What about KD? Yeah. Oh, dude, this is Kevin Durant, bro.
He's old as fuck.
Hey, good
go.
guess. Let's go.
Dude, they gotta
All
do
right.
a challenge. Is there
Damn.
like a hard mode?
We
Alright.
can do one more.
Let's go on. You know what? We got to go on NBA Sportal word game.
Yeah.
Daily word game.
Okay.
All right,
We got 8 guesses again. All right.
Dunny, start us off.
Again, let's do. Give me Grayson Allen.
All right.
Good.
I like that. Good start.
Okay. Taller than
Taller,
6'4".
younger.
Not a guard. Numbers bigger than 8, but it's close. So it's like somewhere close to
Yeah,
there.
and I think yellow means like it's like it's close.
Yeah.
So
And he's also not in the Western Conference, so he's an Eastern Conference guy.
probably another
guard.
big.
Yeah, we can just take a-
thinking like maybe. How tall is Jalen Suggs? Ain't 6'5".
Just do like
You just do any Eastern
Any
Conference
East-
young power forward or center.
just do like a Jalen Brown or something like that.
He's also a guard.
Damn it.
It's got to be a big.
Isn't Tatum technically a forward?
Yeah, but I like that. He's taller than 6'4". He's young. Wait, no. His number is not
0.
higher than 8.
Let's rock with beef stew.
All right, that's fine. Oh no, let's go Hartenstein.
Hartenstein. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Eastern. He's shorter than 7
He's
feet.
He's even younger.
Younger than
young,
26.
young buck.
Yeah. Smaller than
Okay.
55.
Okay.
He's also not a center or a forward, so we're thinking. Oh, not a center forward, so it could still be a power forward or
Small
a
forward.
Yeah.
forward. Okay, how about
It's Connor's turn.
I think young here.
give me Miles Bridges.
Younger than 26.
He's got to
so.
be like right at 26,
He's around
25.
It says he's red. Oh. Okay,
Damn,
Eastern,
alright.
Southeast. So we're
is
thinking
26.
Atlanta. We're thinking Atlanta,
he's South-
Miami.
Magic.
Atlanta, Miami, Magic. Magic got a lot
Franz
of young guys.
Wagner, maybe.
Franz Wagner's like 6'9".
Oh, I didn't see he was shorter than 6'7". Okay.
I'm thinking like
Paulo.
Paulo's.
No, Paulo went
Paulo's
to
tall.
Duke. Paulo went to Duke, and
Paulo's
and
also
it's
really
not
tall.
College. Okay.
Miami Heat got any young guys that we might be missing?
He's a forward. Remember, we're thinking, so we know
Yeah.
it's a forward.
Who's a Heat forward?
Kevin Love, but he's not.
Yeah,
26.
he's not 26. He was old.
Atlanta could be Sadiq Bey or something.
Could be. Is he 6'7" or?
He's like
Or shorter than
6. He's 6'7". I'm pretty sure.
Alright, let's go
6
Sadiq Bey.
around there.
I don't know
Is
how you-
Blood not even in the league, bro?
Is that how you spell his
It's not how
name?
you spell Sadiq, is it? It's S. Isn't it?
Oh,
S-A
it's-
or
yeah.
S-A? Yeah. Oh, so
Okay,
he's 25.
okay.
25.
We also know it's not Atlanta, so
Not
it's
Atlanta.
Magic, Heat.
Well, there's other young guys Atlanta has too. That.
No, I know, but it's not Atlanta because it would have been Green.
Oh, true.
So it's Magic. It's not Charlotte either. So it's the Magic, the Heat, or
Who else?
the
I can't
the
think
last
of-
Eastern Conference.
When the fuck's he on the Magic?
It's
The Magic, the Heat, the
it's the last
freaking.
team in the southeast. It's
I always forget
it's,
who it
it's not
is.
the Hornets. It's not. It's
Not the Cavs. It's not the.
aren't they up? Aren't they up north? Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
Who's the last team in the southeast? Oh
Dude,
my goodness.
this is gonna make me
I'm
lose my
tripping.
mind, bruh. It's not Philadelphia. It's Southeast. Come on, Lib. Think. Dunny, what you got for teams over there?
Dude, I'm like,
Yeah.
Celtics, Knicks, Bucks, Cavs, Magic, Pacers, 76ers, Bulls, Nets, Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, Pistons.
Wizards.
No, it's
No,
not the
that's
Wizards. They're
Washington.
Central.
Washington. Yeah.
They're Central. Wait, what?
No,
it
it's
is
the
Wizards.
Wizards. It's the
Okay,
Wizards.
Okay.
that's kind of wild that
could
they're
be the
south.
So it's not. It's a forward.
Oh, what about Kispert?
Couldn't
Corey Kispert.
Can this be
It could be Corey Kispert. He is shorter than 6'7".
Who's that one last year?
He is considered a forward.
He is pretty. He might be 25. That's a really good. Bro, it might be Corey Kispert
Because he played 4 years in college,
Yeah.
too.
Let's go.
Hey,
Come
let's
on.
go.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
Good shit.
Corey Kispert, I love your hair.
I like
I
it.
want his hair. Let's
right,
go. All right,
let's move
5
on.
guesses. Cool. Some easy ones today.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Start out with a Greek.
We hit
Show
Greek.
the silhouette. It's just obvious.
Yeah.
All right, let's go get back on track here. We're nice and warmed up now to talk about this shit.
Oh, Tigers won. Let's go.
So we're gonna start our podcast today. We talked a little bit about this in our last episode. Connor and I recapped Game 3 of the finals, and the finals have finished. The Celtics won, and we're just gonna kind of recap these finals, how they went real quick, and I guess we'll just have Connor start us off like always. Want to just talk about these finals and kind of how you just felt about it, maybe what was happening.
I'm ready to just move on from this stuff, man. I mean, we knew, I feel like after Game 1 that it was over.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
First half of Game 1.
Yeah, it's been over. We knew that they were no match for the Celtics. We talked about this because we talked about the last episode we had was after Game 3, so it was already 3-0. So we kind of knew that this was coming. I guess the only thing that I'd kind of want to touch on, I guess, is the pretty cool debate between Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Knowing who should have gotten Finals MVP. Yeah, I would say looking at it, I thought Tatum was going to steal it from him with all that.
Yeah, he had a great game.
He was ball hogging at the end though. He took
Yeah.
I thought they might end up giving it to him just because of it. He's the first he's the first player to lead his team in points, assists, and rebounds and not win Finals MVP.
Damn.
And so I thought that was something worth noting. He is the leader of the team. I kind of think that there's kind of this narrative that Jason Tatum's not that they're out to get him, but everybody hates Tatum. I feel like I get it.
He's
He's a
been getting a lot of
cornball.
flack.
He's a cornball. I get it, but it's just wild because
We did it.
Dude, the Kanye thing was crazy. The everything. What they gonna say now?
Trying to recreate Kobe's pick.
every single thing. He is a cornball. I get it. But I think there should be more respect on his name. I mean, he literally, since he's been in the league 7 years, he's made the conference finals 6 times. That's really impressive for one.
Yeah.
He hasn't won it all, and that's the biggest thing that they always gave him shit for was, oh yeah, you got all the stats and everything, but you can't win it all. And then he wins it all, and they're telling him, oh, you're not getting all the stats. And it's there's just always going to be a hate on him. And I think that's good for him because it definitely is going to keep pushing him to be one of the greats that he probably has the potential to be. I'm really interested to see what the Celtics are gonna do in the offseason in terms of if they're gonna just keep everything the same, how they're gonna pay people. I know Jalen just got his bag and everything, and they're obviously gonna keep the big core. But yeah, overall, we don't really need to talk too much about the actual game itself because we kind of already went pretty deep into it. But that's something that definitely brings curiosity to me is how that dynamic's gonna stay going forward because with this core of a team that they have. There's no reason why they shouldn't be the favorites to win it all again next year as of right now. So that's definitely, I guess that's just
Drew Holidays.
A summary of that.
Yeah.
But
Definitely, like you said, adding those pieces were huge. And I think this talk about this finals and this championship goes way back to even before this. This goes back to Brooklyn Nets giving them all those draft picks to get Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And I remember last offseason there was a huge debate on if the Celtics should even give Jaylen Brown his max extension, and props to them for sticking to it and believing in the 2 J's to deliver this championship to them. And obviously, Derek White and Drew Holiday and Kristaps,
Sam Hauser,
they all, even Sam Hauser and Xavier Tillman, your boy, they all came in huge. And I guess we could even say if they played any other team besides Dallas, I think it might be a different outcome. I don't know. A team like the Thunder where they have more talent just overall around.
I don't think any team would have beaten the Celtics. I mean,
I think we could have got a more interesting
teams would have made it better. Like the Nuggets probably could have.
Nuggets would have been the best matchup, I think.
The Nuggets could have. Even the Timberwolves might have given them a better series. I'm not gonna lie, but the Celtics defense is just so good that in previous series, PJ Washington and Lively and all those guys were able to do more offensively, and that helped them get to the spot they were in. But when you go against, the third best player on the fifth best player on the Celtics would have been the second best player on any other team in the NBA. So it's like when you get to level, it's just like, when you have that deep of a starting five, you have to also have a pretty deep starting five. And the only team I think that's like that you could compare them to is the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only team that could have given them a fight.
Yeah. Yep. I definitely agree. And the Mavs, Kyrie kind of disappeared for half the series, which is tough. And they just didn't have enough firepower. Celtics are perfectly built for today's NBA. Run and gun sort of offense is kind of like the NFL. High scoring and really good, well-coached team on defense, very disciplined. They don't foul. They get a lot of blocks and a lot of steals, and it's just perfectly built, man. A lot of threes, and that's what makes them really fun to watch, but they're easy to root against, I think, which is still weird. It's kind of like the Warriors, like I was saying last episode.
And no one likes the team that's winning. Like no one likes the Warriors. Nobody like the Patriots.
Yep.
It's just how it goes.
How it is.
When they're running the league, no one likes the Chiefs. It's just the same thing. The best teams always get the most hate. And I could tell you what, none of those guys care about the hate. If anything, it just probably helps them play better.
Yeah. Dunham, you got anything to say about the finals? Anything else you think you'd like to add?
Kind of just wish it was longer, man. They just killed them. It was really just disappointing. I was like, oh, they'll win. No, they didn't do shit.
They needed to win Game 3.
And they needed to win Game 3.
I agree with you that it definitely sucks that we didn't have a more competitive finals, but I like to also take the other point of view of just like I love watching just really good basketball, and the Celtics they just bodied everyone. Yeah. It was one of the
too
most
bad. Like they didn't really
runs.
Get the attention until the finals. Honestly,
they were just running everybody, and obviously people are gonna blame it on the Heat didn't have Jimmy, the Pacers didn't.
The Bucks
have
went out early.
Tyrese and all these excuses. The Celtics can only play who's in front of them. That's all they can control.
Yeah.
And they took care of everyone that they were supposed to, and that's something that you can applaud because a lot of teams have those opportunities and don't capitalize on them.
Yep.
And the Celtics and
Missoula,
the Missoula and all them, the coaching staff and everything made sure that they were prepared and that they were going to take advantage of the advantage that they were given.
Yep.
So that's something that's very impressive, and just to see that they did not take their foot off the gas, which a lot of teams do in those situations.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can move on to now. What does this mean for Boston? I think it means a lot. They finally kind of crushed that narrative of not being able to win. They lost to the Warriors, and I was rooting for them that year to win, and the Warriors just kind of had another magical season that they kind of just pulled out. But this championship I think means a lot for them, especially with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. A lot of people were saying they don't think this core can win, but credit to Boston's front office and Brad Stevens. He went out and got more guys that can help them, and I think this championship means a lot for them. And a lot of the memes that kind of say, with the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song playing in the background that they can't win or they get lucky, I think, it means a lot for them, and the flack won't be coming their way so much, and we could be seeing the start of another dynasty, honestly.
Yeah, I really like how we're kind of shifting this narrative of like the Jason Tatum Celtics to the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown Celtics, because it's rare in history where you have a team win a championship with one guy carrying, unless you're LeBron James.
Yeah.
Like it really just doesn't happen. And even in the championships LeBron did win, he always kind of had somebody else helping him. It just doesn't happen. Like even MJ, I mean, he has a great team around him.
Yep.
Jason Tatum was never going to win a ship without that guy. I mean, even Jokic had Jamal Murray. Everyone has another guy.
And that coaching staff too.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has another guy like that, and they have the potential with how young they are. Jason Tatum's still only 19. they have the potential to become one of the best duos in NBA history. I mean, obviously they have a lot to go, but they have the structure, they have the contracts that taken care of. That they're going to be there for a while. They have a team and a coaching staff and a culture that has it available for them, and they already have had crazy success. Even though this is their first finals, they've been, like I said, to the conference final 6 out of the 7 years that Jason Tatum's been there. Like that's impressive on its own. They have. I think I saw some stat already that like Jason Tatum already has by his age, he's like 4th all time in playoff wins by his age.
Yeah.
For a single player. I mean
he
has a lot. People just don't, just because he hadn't had a ring yet. People have given him a lot of shit, and I really like that now that Jaylen Brown's at that same tier as him. I don't know if I'd still say he's a better player yet than Jason Tatum, but he's finally starting to reach the potential that he needed to for them to be successful. And now that they finally are, they're definitely those two are going to be a problem for years to come, now that they finally figured out that instead of competing against each other sacrificing that, oh, I'm the main guy, sacrificing that to like be together and work together is definitely something that they finally realize they need to do, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future.
Yeah, me too.
I think both those numbers are going to be going the Raptors.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and like that one guy, that one analyst or whatever, he predicted that they're both going in the Raptors.
Yeah.
And as long as they stay in Celtics jerseys for the rest of their careers, I think one championship is enough to do it.
I agree.
Especially with how competitive the NBA is nowadays, and I think, teams like this get built and they say it's not competitive or whatever. I think that's just goes to show
Props to them.
There's a lot of props needs to go to front offices nowadays. We've seen mostly really bad jobs with front offices. Pistons, Suns, Hornets. As you know, I don't like to bash on your team, but
big blow.
we've been we've been unblessed with some pretty bad front office showings. But the Boston Celtics have always been very consistent with that, and I think this just means that there's more deep playoff runs, and they're always just going to be here for at least the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
They're always going to be there. They're always going to be.
They have been there, and the thing they have been there.
Yeah.
They've been right there for years now. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. And like I said, I just think that these acquisitions that Brad Stevens made, like you were just saying, is definitely something that's worth applauding. That a lot of times people get really close and then they fall off because they just can't figure it out.
Right.
And they figured it out. And I think that's pretty dope.
Right. And for the Celtics to beat Kyrie, especially after what he did, and
Yeah.
how he went about kind of leaving the team, I think that was nice for them
To
and
get their payback on that
good
too.
for Celtics
Yeah.
fans and stuff. So
Shout out Kyrie though.
yeah, shout out Kyrie. I like Kyrie. He's a likable player.
Speaking of that, we could probably move on to
we can move on to
the
Dallas.
Mavericks,
Yeah.
the Mavericks side of things. We don't got to go too much into it because I think a lot of it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, Dunham, where do you think the Dallas Mavericks? Oh, you just took a bite, so I'll let you.
What you got on your pizza? What'd you get?
Barbecue chicken.
But what's that quiche? Is that jalapeno?
It's a jalapeno on it, and there's red onions on it. So
And there's some cheese on it
pretty
too.
much good. And ranch. But,
What would you do if you were Dallas right now? Are you going
What's
back?
your, what's your mindset right now?
dude, it's
That's
just
the
it's
overall
just pain.
vibe
Like
check.
they're just all Luka, man. It's just like Kyrie had some games. I think Kyrie did better when Luka was there, but when games where Luka was off, Kyrie couldn't do shit. And I just feel like Luka just is a stud on offense, but just a defensive liability and a half.
Yeah,
I like it. I agree.
I like it.
It's just insane as stats as far as how bad his defense is. It's just
Yeah,
brutal.
they pick on him. He's a target for sure. They
He's
see him as a-
and he
they-
foul,
yeah.
and he's fouls out, and you gotta have more discipline.
Exactly.
You can't be doing that. He's fouled out so many times in big games like that. It's just
As far as where they go, I feel like this Mavericks team, although they had a great playoff run,
Yeah,
this
it was
team
all about the
isn't-
playoff run, honestly.
it was a really good run. This team, where it is right now, is never going to win a championship.
No.
Just because the lack of having that third star that they had glimpses of in games on their way to get here, of where PJ Washington some days would be that guy, or Tim Hardaway
was dropping
Jr. had
20
games.
easy.
You had games like that. You need a third guy that you can consistently depend on, that can play both ways, that can be that third dude for you, and they don't really have. They have their 1 and 2, and then it really drops off. All their other guys on the Celtics might not even play a lot.
they
And
make him big.
I really like the idea of them going into like a hypothetical I was thinking about is they need a guy like a more it doesn't need to be a 3-and-D guy kind of like PJ is, but to an extent where they can do more. I like the idea of them maybe going after Jeremy Grant in the offseason and
I like that.
getting
Get
a guy like
him out of Portland too.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. He's
Exactly.
been stuck in Neverland.
Yeah, exactly.
With the Pistons and
Get a guy like
Pacers.
PJ, but maybe a guy that's better. I mean, I really liked what Dallas did because they were going after the type of guy that they needed to get with PJ Washington.
Yep.
But I've watched PJ for the last 5 years. I mean, we just had the memory come up with the day he was drafted the other day, and I've been watching him 5 years. I know what type of player he is. He's his biggest problem with the Hornets was he was just way too inconsistent. When he played good, the Hornets won. When he played bad, we lost, and he didn't play good a lot.
Yeah.
And I knew going to Dallas he was going to have games where he looked really well, and he did. And I also knew there were going to be games where he just didn't show up, and that happened this finals and a little bit against the Timberwolves. He didn't play that well.
Yep.
And overall, like I said, they need to go after a more consistent third option, I think.
Yes.
And they have a good young big in Derek Lively that I think is going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
So I don't think they necessarily need to go out and get. I would say they need to go out and get big depth I mean, Maxi Kleba is not going to be.
Right.
You can't have him coming. I mean, every time he came off the bench, he was worse of a defensive liability than Luka.
There were plenty of times where he was open and he didn't shoot, and his thing is to shoot threes.
Exactly. That he's not. You need to get depth in the big area and let Likely develop, and I think you need to go after a very a better third option of a guy that's a good 3 to 4. I think that's what they were missing, and I think until they go to do something like that, this team isn't going to compete. And I think even if they do make a move like that, it's still going to be hard because this West is only going to get better. I mean, you look at all the teams that had a down year this year, like the Lakers are going to be better next year, the Warriors are going to be better next year, and then think of all the young teams that didn't even make the playoffs in the West that are really good getting better, like the Kings. Pelicans, like they made it, but the OKC's just going to get better. They're already insane, and they have all these picks coming in. They have freaking the most picks I've ever seen. Like they're just like
OKC is so sad.
They're just gonna keep getting better and better. The West in general is what I'm saying. And the Timberwolves, obviously, Anthony's just gonna get better, and the Nuggets aren't going anywhere anytime soon. If the Mavs, this was their chance. They got here. This was like
this should have been the year for them, especially with Kyrie.
Exactly.
Kyrie is only going to regress.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's saying what I'm saying about Jeremy Grant coming in or someone. I keep saying him. It doesn't need to be him specifically, but that type of player. Even getting them isn't necessarily going to guarantee that they get back here. Luka might never get back in his career. That's how it's so hard to win in this league,
especially in the West.
And even just get your chance. And exactly. So changes need to be made, but luckily, the Mavs front office has been making some good moves recently, and I bet they will.
Luka does have time.
Exactly, but they need to take advantage of him now, of what he's at right now.
Yep.
And that's what I would do if I were them.
Yep, I definitely agree. I love the Jeremy Grant pick. I think he would definitely help on defense as well. That's what they needed a lot of. The Celtics absolutely just had their way with them on offense throughout the finals. I think the Dallas Mavericks were asking way too much out of guys like Derek Jones Jr., Josh Green, Dante Exum, the little time he was in. Yep. I think Luka just commands so much of this team. When he's out and Kyrie's underperforming, what do they have? Nothing.
And
they're asking a guy like Jeremy Grant or just another, third good player. Like I'm thinking even Fred VanVleet to lead the team out after Luka and Kyrie get some rest. Because I think Luka and Kyrie, they play really well when they're not together. But like Dunny was saying, when Luka goes out of the game, Kyrie really struggles, and you can 100%. See it throughout the finals.
It's because teams are able to just hone in on them.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. But when both of them are on the floor, then they both can create. Might be their thing. They just need two creators. So maybe even just going after another guy who can come off the bench, or maybe move Kyrie to a 6-man role. He might be open to that. Yeah. You never know.
And to be fair, I do want to still give Dallas its flowers. They're a good team. It's just when you have a team like Boston,
they're well coached too.
What it's doing is it's making us look at they are so good at finding the weakness of every team that they play. So we're sitting here, talking about all these weaknesses that Dallas has that before the Celtics series we're really not talking about that much. Mm-hmm. But the Celtics are so good at honing in on the weaknesses of other teams that it's making it so visible that we're able to sit here and maybe that's a good thing for Dallas, that they're able to sit here and think, all right, this is the top of the top, and this is how we performed in those situations. What do we need to do now to eliminate that going forward? And hopefully they take that as a lesson, and that they're going to learn from it, and they're going to get better. And I enjoy watching Luka and Kyrie play, so I do hope that they get better, and I hope that they get another chance. But there's a really good chance.
I know. I want Luka to get another chance because I do like Luka. He's a very likable player. He's got the personality that you like.
He's kind of like a star. I like it. He's a goofy dude.
Yeah, he is a cornball too. Mm-hmm. I wonder what he would have said if he won the championship, but he might have been like a Jokic response, kind of just like, I'm gonna
get a beer.
Ready to go home and take care of my horses.
Get a beer.
But yeah, so that's where we think Dallas ought to go. Good best of luck to them for next year, and I guess we can move on to the 20. Did you have anything else to say?
No.
Okay. We can move on to the 2024 NBA season as a whole now. We kind of generally covered this in episode 1, but we spent like 10 minutes on it. You can't really get all that done in 10 minutes. Yeah. But how would you guys sum up this NBA season in a couple of words? Because I think, when we think back to the 2023 season, I would just call that season like just kind of funny. There were a lot of memes that came out of that year. Like Pat Beverly, like even the year before that, throwing his jersey into the after the playing game, he threw his jersey like he just won the championship. Yeah. Or Pat Beverly the year after in 2023 grabbed the camera to show the ref that he missed the foul on LeBron James or whatever. So
I would say A couple words that first come to mind are, one, I would say a little. The season itself it was great. I liked the season itself. The playoffs were very disappointing, just because you had so many teams that had a lot of potential to do a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like I look
Here are
at
the
teams
standings, by the way.
I look at teams like the Bucks.
Yeah.
A team that is built to. They could have been up there competing with, like, I predicted them to be competing with the Celtics for the to go to the finals, and all their injuries that they had with both Giannis and Dame, that's disappointing because you want to see that. I mean, just all the injuries we had in general in the playoffs with the Knicks, and I mean, they lost literally everybody. That's a great team as well. You got teams like the Heat who didn't have Jimmy Butler. You have, when you go to the Pacers after their good run, you have Tyrese Halliburton get hurt and miss multiple games. And then just going back to the regular season a little bit, you have teams like the Lakers, in my opinion, who are good enough. They were good enough this year to make a run. Maybe not win it all, but they're good enough to make a run. And I think that just kind of comes down to coaching. I mean, you think about it, in every game in that Nuggets series, they led by like a wide margin, and they weren't.
There was this crazy stat where the Lakers have scored more points than
they did score. Yeah, it was just like it was just crazy that. Those teams had those potentials, but they weren't able to capitalize on it. So I guess I'd say a little disappointing in terms of the postseason. During the actual season, there was a lot of energy, a lot of exciting things. I mean, I really liked the NBA in-season tournament. That was pretty cool. Watching the Lakers win that and seeing the rise of Tyrese in that and compete. That was really cool to see. But then I guess if I had to say another word, I'd say almost a little predictable. Just because from day one, I mean, Vegas had the Celtics winning it all from day one. From the All-Star break to the beginning of the playoffs to every round in the playoffs to the beginning, they were always just a heavy betting favorite. And it was almost like you were thinking, there's a world where they don't, but you always knew in the back of your mind that they probably were going to get it done anyway. And you were kind of hoping
at least one of these years.
Yeah, and you knew at this point that they were the best. Like, going into the playoffs, the Boston was minus 120 to win it all. That never happens, no matter how good a team and how powerful a team is.
Minus 120 is
with that many teams at the beginning of a playoffs to be minus 120 to win it all is crazy, high odds.
Wild.
And they still did it. Going in, I saw so many stats about how OP this team really was all season. Like, they were the fastest team to ever, or they had the biggest gap between when one team clinched the playoffs versus the second. Yeah. And it was 17 days. I saw something that was the Celtics clinched the 1 seed like a week before any other team even clinched the playoffs, which is just insane in its own right. And so I would just say predictable. I mean, it was, as much as I was just saying, as much as I feel like there was a chance that a lot of these teams could have made a run, I always knew in the back of my mind, this team is just better than everyone else. Yeah. So in a way, and you saw it throughout the whole season. Guess what the longest losing streak the Celtics had this season was?
Probably 2 games.
It was 2 games.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just incredible.
That's the champion, though. That's a champion, right?
Exactly. That's consistency.
That's a really well-coached team. And
deep team.
Yeah. Team with a lot of... I think Celtics also got very fortunate. They didn't suffer too many injuries. I think that'd be a word I would definitely include in this, and you talked on it.
Part of that comes to coaching, though. In your substitutions and your timing and what you're doing when you're not playing and how you're taking care of your body and recovery and everything. And I mean, no wonder the Knicks lost their entire starting lineup. Tom Thibodeau literally plays his guys 48 minutes apiece, and look what happens. I mean,
eventually they wear and tear. Exactly. And it happened to Brunson at the end of that series, and look, he had to get surgery. Who knows if he comes back the same? Exactly. He probably will, but I'm sure. You just never know. And
a hand is normally you can recover from pretty well. But
OKC, though, I would say there were a lot of surprises this year in the bad department and good, like Golden State not making the playoffs. That never happens. They did make the play-in tournament, the play-in tournament, play-in game, but just Golden State not being there, that was a change of sight for sure, change of scenery. And
don't forget that never forget Klay Thompson went over 10.
Klay Thompson also went over 10 to elimination game. And people forget that he scored 41 in an elimination game too, so it's just crazy the fall off we've seen. We're seeing new guys kind of take the spots of our old stars that we grew up watching, so there's been that kind of rise in players too. And the Rockets are improving. I see that they went 500 this year and they got 11th place in the West.
That's just how tough the West is. I mean,
insane. If you got 500 in the East, you'd be playing easy, which is crazy. But I've seen a lot of surprises. Oh, we have a special guest calling us.
Let's see what we got here.
Hey,
What's up?
what are you doing?
Recording a podcast.
What up, Owen?
Oh, what up, KB?
What up, Owen? All right, shout out Owen.
Straight to the O.
But yeah, I would just say there were a lot of surprises. I didn't expect the Pistons to lose 28 straight games. That was definitely a surprise. The Ja Morant. Oh, careful, Donnie. That's gonna overflow.
Man.
Oh shit, he knows. The Grizzlies should have been better, but Ja Morant getting that injury. A lot of injuries happen to a lot of teams. Zion going out in the playoffs. Clippers, you just think they're always gonna do better than they do, and then they lose in the first round, and it's just like.
Speaking of that, not to cut you off, you can
No, you're
continue,
good.
you can continue with your thought.
I was just gonna say the Timberwolves were another surprise
Yeah.
as well. I liked seeing Anthony Edwards rise to what he's supposed to be. And
Did you do the nose grease?
I'm just doing not regular grease.
What regular grease did I have?
The pizza grease.
Oh,
that's
fair.
valid. Probably working better. But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that could lead us into talking about all these teams individually. We could do our tier ranking on what we thought going into the season. It doesn't have to be exactly.
I should
what
look up a tier list actually while you're talking.
Yeah, go ahead. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a. Are you screen recording right now on here, or you can?
I can.
Okay,
Once
so
I
we
get
can put
it
it up.
pulled
We can
up,
put it
yeah.
up. So we're not gonna talk too much, but we're gonna go through every team, and we're going to.
here we go,
I
here we
like
go.
it, and we're going to rate S through F tier.
Well, what should I name these? Like S should be did exceeded expectations.
Well, I don't want to. I don't know if I exactly want to do it like that because we don't need to do it exactly what we had expectations going into the season.
Yeah.
But after watching the season, what we thought they could have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess it can be like that. If you want to, I feel like just it should be based on their potential.
Mm-hmm.
So, but beginning of the season, we didn't know the actual potential of what certain teams had. So I guess you can kind of say that exceeded expectations. So I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do like S exceeded or S blew expectations out of the water.
Yeah.
Or just even meeting them can be an S. Like for example, Boston met their expectations to win a championship, but it was the highest they could have been. So it's like, do you put that at S or do you put that at the middle? So I think we can just base it off of that. So I'd say S can be, blew expectations out of the water, or A can be exceeded expectations, B could be met expectations, C came up short of expectations, and
D just
would be,
disaster.
Yeah, did not meet them, or way below.
So
Sixers.
We don't need to talk too much
Yeah.
on each one, just kind of give our overall thoughts so we can get a list together, and that can be enough. I think.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with Philadelphia.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I am. And we can go ahead and start with Philadelphia. I think that this team fell short.
I'm gonna give them
obviously
right off the bat. I say C.
I wouldn't go as fat as disaster because I do think this team is still set up in a position where they can kind of.
When Joel was playing,
Yeah.
they were really good. But
Yeah,
then he got
exactly.
injured, and you can't really stop that.
Thank
And even
God
when they
this
got
team
in the
had
playoffs,
Tyrese.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God this team
Tyrese
had.
will-
He's
had
only
Tyrese.
gonna get better.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey. What do you think, Dunham? Do you think C is fair for
I think
Sixers?
C is very fair. It was just unfortunate with the Embiid injury, but there's a lot of potential there. You saw a lot of good things throughout the season.
Yeah,
But
especially
just-
Tyrese Maxey's rise into becoming a board.
There's a lot of good things to. As a Sixers fan, it sucks that you're in a Celtics situation right now. A team that's like, you know how much talent you have and how good your team can be and stars you have, but you're just not reaching what you know you can. And I think they're kind of in a similar situation to what the Celtics were like last year. I think they have a lot to look forward to going into the next season, especially if they're able to acquire PG. But I would say C.
Well, yeah, one story I really liked about the Sixers this year was Kelly Oubre too. He got hit by a car, broke some of his ribs, and he was back playing like 3 weeks later. That was pretty insane. I like Kelly Oubre a lot, and that's kind of another segment we're going to talk about later. Is one player we grew to like, and then one player we grew to hate. But we can talk about the Wizards now.
Wizards put him at D. I mean, there's no I understand they didn't have a lot of expectations coming in, but you can't be. Like, the fact that they competed with the Pistons for the worst team, and the Pistons are generationally bad, you got to put them at D.
Yeah, there was neck and neck for who was going to be last this whole time.
It's crazy how much. But they like.
I honestly wasn't thinking D for them. I was thinking C, but what do you think, Donnie?
I think it could be a good D.
It's D, dude.
It's D. I mean, like Wizards, Pistons. I mean,
it was so bad. It was so bad.
You were definitely expecting more out of Jordan Poole.
Exactly.
I think for me
and Kyle Kuzma. I mean, both of them you were expecting more.
They're a horrible fit together,
really
and
are.
this team is just not constructed very good, and there's no plan really.
Yeah.
So I think the Wizards might honestly be in worse shape than the Pistons, even though the Pistons
Even though
might.
the Wizards about to get the number 2 draft pick, and they're probably going to get Alex Sarr.
Yeah.
Because they got
The
Zach.
Hawks aren't going to take him?
No,
We'll
doesn't look like it.
we'll talk
we're
about that in
gonna-
another episode.
That's
But
interesting.
Well, later,
Wizards take our first D spot.
I also, moving on to the Hawks, as the next team, I would like to put them in D.
Really?
I was
didn't-
like, C.
They didn't make the playoffs, and they got traded for DeJounte Murray. Okay,
Yeah, well, that was last year.
still, but they had a year together to blend. Who's their new coach? Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder's been there.
Who I actually like as a coach too, but
and he's supposed to be a defensive specialist, and they were awful defensively this year. They were the definition of mid all.
they have
season,
been the
and
definition of mid.
And
for
it's like
a
at this
while.
point and where they are, they were supposed to be, especially in East, it's not crazy strong.
Yeah.
They should have. They have the roster and coaching staff to be a top 4 seed, and I think that the fact that they didn't even make the play-in, or did they? They were the 10, or they were the 9.
Yeah, they got
lose
smacked
to
though.
They lost to the
Bulls,
Bulls, who
yeah.
ended up losing to
No, the Bulls played
Heat.
at home, so they must have been
the Bulls. Were the 9, the Hawks were the 10. The
Yeah.
Bulls beat them, and the Bulls lost to the Heat,
yeah.
who ended up winning.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'd personally give them a D, but I can see if you want to say C.
Honestly, just because they were mid, I'm thinking, average season. I don't think it's quite at disaster level yet, in my opinion. And I think Trae Young got injured. So I think Trae Young had an injury this season. DeJounte Murray, they're just two play styles that don't fit together. You don't need 2 guards. They're trying to be Luka and Kyrie, and it's not working. And
I'm cool with C.
This team just isn't built for what it needs to be. They need more defenders around Trae and DeJounte if they're really trying to go that way. And DeJounte's a good defender in his own right. His personality, I think, just kind of gets in the way, and he doesn't fit with Trae, who kind of needs the ball in his hand. They both are ball dominant players, and Kyrie kind of excels where he doesn't really need the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with C. What are you, Dunham?
I think C is very,
That's
very
fine
for the
adequate.
Hawks.
I think we also should probably go through them quicker because we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
27 more to go.
Cavs.
Cavs.
Probably
I'm cool with an A. I'm cool with an A. They really impressed this year with. I mean, it sucks that they're probably gonna lose Mitchell, but I really like a lot of the.
I like the defense they're going for with the Twin Towers down there.
Yeah.
It's old school and it's kind of working, but once they run into the Celtics, it's exposed. But they didn't have Jared Allen. I don't think it would have changed anything. But I'm honestly thinking I was thinking B, but
I like A. I mean, just simply because I think they exceeded expectations. I don't think they just met them. I think they exceeded them.
that's true. First year with Don, right? So
Yeah.
or it might be the second. I don't know. Is it the first year with
I thought it was
Donovan?
the first year.
Anyway, you didn't know how it was going to work out, but I think this team is in a good spot
Yeah,
to
I
go
agree. If
forward.
they
So
keep- if they keep Don, if they
I'm
keep
cool
Don.
with A.
All right.
Oh boy, I'm thinking. It was a
it's
disaster.
100%.
It was a disaster.
Don't even have to
season.
talk about it. Don't even talk about
It
it.
was a disaster season. 28 game losing streak. Let's Trajan Langdon.
Transition.
What's our new GM? His last name is Langdon. I know that. So hopefully he had some good veteran pieces for us because
Pacers got to be an A.
I think Pacers also got to be an A.
Yeah.
You're right. They're one of those teams where you could consider putting them in S.
Yeah. Go Halliburton.
They made it to the conference. They made it to the conference finals
Yeah.
when
They got
coming in, and they got second in the NBA in-season tournament.
Yeah,
you know the crazy jump in Tyrese. He was an all-star starter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he not? Like,
even minus playoffs, it was an exciting season for the Pacers.
yeah. I mean,
Organization.
I don't like putting the Pacers at A and the Cavs also at A. Like, I almost want to put Pacers at S. They really exceeded the expectations that they had coming into the season.
And that trade for Pascal just jumps it up a little bit. So
I'm cool putting them at S. I mean, they're one of the. I understand we can only put a couple up there,
Yeah.
but looking at all these.
we can always
teams-
move them. We can always move them up later. I think. I don't know if we jump Pacers up there quite yet, but
I'd be fine.
Conference
I'm
finals.
thinking S.
I think it's an S tier. I mean, with what they
Okay.
had coming into the
Okay.
season, expectations wise, as a Pacers fan, you were so happy with this season.
yeah,
With the acquisitions with Pascal before the deadline. I mean,
that series with the Knicks too was perfect,
great.
dude.
Bucks.
I'm cool with putting them in D.
I'm
Honestly.
cool with it too, just because even though they were the 2 seed,
This was a disaster
But it
season
really
for
was
them, even
not
with
good.
Dame, dude.
yeah, I
even
mean,
with Dame,
they were 17 games back from the 1 seed. The
and they
Boston
just got
Celtics, and they
injured. And it
barely
was
made
it
to
was
the
a
two-
waste of a season for
They were
them.
the 3 seed.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
They were second when they fired their coach.
Yeah, I'm cool with putting them at a D.
You know anything about that, Dunham?
No.
The Raptors.
Raptors.
I'm cool putting them at a B because
This was a rebuild
coming
year.
into the season, they knew they were rebuilding.
Yeah.
They still played okay. They were pretty bad, but like
I'm sure they competed in a lot of games.
Let's put them at C. Let's put them at
think
C.
C is
They were way
fine.
too bad to put them at B, I think.
They won 25 games. So
All right, Dallas S. You got to put them at S, 100%. I mean,
they earned it.
They
I
did.
think
the Nuggets.
we talked plenty about Dallas today.
The thing about Nuggets is
I think just the way they fizzled out against the T-Wolves.
I mean, defending
B
champs.
is completely. I mean, like
I think
champs, your
them
expectations
being
is
our first B
championship,
team is putting them pretty low enough to.
But I don't think they should be a B. I think they should be a C. They were the defending champs, and they got knocked second round
yeah.
to a team that didn't even make the finals. I don't know. I think that they. I mean, in the Lakers series, they didn't even look like the better team most of it. I'm cool putting them at a C. I mean, they
That's
did not.
true.
Meet
They
their
were not ready.
expectations.
They were not ready to win again
They
come
did not
playoff
meet, They did
time.
not meet expectations.
But-
I feel like they're a C.
Dunny?
I think C is pretty valid. I think they're high C. I think they're like above the Sixers.
Okay, that's
But-
true. I'm
but,
cool with
like,
putting them above Sixers. Yeah, we don't got to go
Yeah, they don't
too
care.
deep
Doesn't
into
matter.
doing that. But the Grizzlies, Ja Morant injury killed them, man. We
Yeah.
saw when Ja came back. That first game back, I watched it. He hits the game winner. They beat the Pelicans.
Yeah, I remember watching that game.
And-
He had some crazy highlights that game.
And then they lost him again. I think it was just kind of a waste of a season, but I think Jaren Jackson Jr., this might be good for his development. He got some good minutes just being the lone star out there, but I'm not sure if that warrants a better than C. And,
I'd put him at C.
yeah. I don't think there's much we can say about the Grizzlies. I mean, it was cool that Derrick Rose kind of got another run as a point guard out there a little bit, but
Do we put?
he might be a good mentor for Ja Morant going forward, which is cool.
I think you could put Minnesota at S.
I think
Coming into the season after the season before being a play-in team that had lost in the first round, they come into the season and they beat the defending champs and make it to the conference finals, and they end up having absolute star develop and have the defensive player of the year. And I just think
Cat played really well.
I think you got to put him at S.
Jaden McDaniels too. I was thinking A for these guys just because we knew they were going to get better. We just didn't know how much better, but that didn't happen until the playoffs. So I guess if we're including playoffs, I'm cool with putting them in S.
For sure. Spurs.
Bottom of S.
Spurs.
Yeah, they're at the bottom.
Spurs. I guess you could say C.
I
mean,
think
getting Wemby,
I think we
it's-
saw a lot of good things out of Wemby, but they only won like barely 20 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't want to put them at B because they definitely didn't. But that's an awful roster. I mean, come on, and I understand they weren't very good. But that's just an
Pop's
awful-
doing what he can.
I like C.
I like C too. I think they're in a Memphis Grizzlies situation. They're one guy away from kind of taking the jump and maybe making some noise in the playoffs, and maybe next year and the
What
next
do
2
we-
years.
What do we do with the Jazz here?
The Jazz are very Atlanta Hawks to me.
They just don't have a good roster, but I also don't
They
think
they do have a decent roster.
I'm
They
cool
have
with
they have
putting them at
walk.
B here.
I'm cool with putting them at B too. I think they're in a great spot, and I think they got kind of unlucky with some injuries. I think Lauri Markkanen went down, and he's their leading scorer.
Yeah, they weren't expecting to be good this year, and they kind of in a loaded West, they competed for a play-in spot.
Yeah, I love their coach too. The way their team plays is, they try to emulate the Celtics with the high run and gun offense, and I just think they're out of the athletes and out of the shooters that they kind of need for that. So I'm cool with putting them at B. I'm cool with putting them as our first B team. But
I agree. I think.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I
Clippers though. The Clippers are tough because
Clippers. I think we got to put them at C
you have to put them at C
or D. Honestly,
maybe even I'm cool with D because with what they had, there was a point in the
This
season
was the
where
year. This was the year.
it. They're done now. Like it kind of is disastrous with how insane of a team that they technically.
if
did
the Bucks
have.
are down here, I'm cool with putting them
I
down
agree.
here.
I
Honestly,
agree. And that team right after him is joining them. Dude, the Suns are also. Dude, this was the same situation. I'm cool with blowing that shit up. All right, Portland.
Portland, I'm cool with if we're
I'm
putting
cool with
Jazz at B.
I was gonna say B too.
I think Scoot didn't play enough this year, but next year Scoot should be making
they
some
were
noise.
tanking. Everyone knew it the whole time, and they weren't great. But the fact that
And they have number 7.
They have
the
7
numbers
and 14.
7 and 14. So they're going to be in a good spot next year.
Yeah, young team. And I like it.
I think they developed some players this year. They were experimenting a lot, and it was just another year for Chauncey Billups to kind of get familiar with the team, which I like him as a coach. So I think Utah Jazz and Portland are in very.
Unfortunately, I think the Kings are a C as well, just because being the 3 seed last year.
Yeah.
falling.
It was too bad they lost to the Warriors that year.
I would put them at the C.
It's too bad.
I think the Knicks are also an A.
Yeah, Knicks deserve it.
For their entire team being injured and they made it that far, like that.
You can't put them to S, but they're definitely better.
Yeah, I
than
mean
B.
that shows their depth, man. Like once they have their starters and all these dudes that were emerging, like it's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
I saw something Thibodeau said on Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson's podcast the other day, and he was like, they were like, Tibbs, how would you rank this season out of all your other seasons? He was like, well, it's interesting. You know, I always judge my seasons based on how much potential we got out of it. He was like, did I do the most I could with this roster? And he was like, you know, at the end of it, I think I did. I think I got the most I could out of everybody. So I think, honestly, that might even push them to S, but I'm cool with
You can't put them to S just because they didn't make the conference finals, I feel like, in my opinion.
Yeah, they really stunk the bed against the Pacers. Congrats to Dunham, by the way, for predicting the Timberwolves and Pacers winning.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was tough.
You predicted both game 7s. Dude, I'm like 0 for 7 on all these predictions. It's crazy.
You definitely are. Pels, what are we thinking?
Oh, man. Pels,
I'm
cool with B.
I'm cool with B.
They're very similar, you know, these fringe playoff teams that are, honestly, so many teams in the NBA are like maybe 1-2 pieces away from really having a chance at winning these things, but I'm cool with putting them at B. It really just depends on Zion.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know, if Zion's healthy for 65 games, they're a 3 seed.
I also wonder what they're going to do with Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, or CJ McCollum. Like, he's been an experiment point guard for 2 years, and it just obviously hasn't, you know, been helping them out in the regular season too much to put them ahead to get home court. But all right, Con, take the mic on this one.
We don't got to talk about it. I'm cool with putting him at D as well. I mean,
really, you think they deserve D?
Yeah,
with like all their young pieces and Miles coming back and showing out.
I mean, it's not even about that. I mean, the fact that this team, the fact that they had to sell so much at the deadline was the right decision, and I'm very happy with what they did. But that's not based on the team. That's the front office, and their defense was just so piss poor this season. You know, LaMelo can't stay healthy. Mark Williams can't stay healthy. Brandon Miller was a huge bright spot. I mean, that's one of the only bright spots that you had in this team. And, you know, he played to his fullest potential, but at the same time, I can't put him at C because, I mean, going into the season, I was hoping that they were going to compete for a play-in spot. Yeah. And by 20 games into the season, you knew they weren't. And for that reason, I'd put him at D.
Yeah. All right. That's very valid. I think this team is also very undisciplined. I think they need a coach to go in there and kind of point them in the
all them boys out there, they just care about getting hosed and their fits before
getting hosed in South Carolina.
Exactly, dude.
Oh wait, they're North Carolina. Yeah. The Rockets, I'm honestly cool with putting these guys at B. I think I saw a lot.
I think they're pushing A, but I'd give them B. I think they're.
I think we saw a lot of good things out of Fred VanVleet being there, and Jalen Green and
dude, the rise of Alfred Sengun and Jabari Smith is huge.
Dude, they're gonna have a really good team in a couple years.
Yeah, they're just continue to build, and
they need more vets though. Jeff Green is a huge vet for them. I think they
got the number 3 pick this year too as well. They might go and take Reed Shepherd, which would be pretty big for them.
Yeah,
we'll talk about
good
that
shooter.
Yeah,
good for Houston.
I like B. The Heat.
I think that is another waste of Jimmy Butler and Bam. Honestly, it could be pushing D.
I'm cool with it being a C.
All right. They're very Kings to me, but I think they're kind of in a worse spot than the Kings, which is why I'm glad it went down. But I think they're in a worse spot than the Kings just because they're stars and they're people that they kind of rely on. Like Jimmy, he's 33 now, so he's getting up there. He's kind of like Kyrie. He doesn't have much time, and when he's running his mouth so much.
Them boys don't care about ball until it's the playoffs, too. Like, they take the regular season so undisciplined.
Yeah.
The Bulls.
It's just another wasted year for Zach LaVine.
It's like, well, you think about, if we're talking just expectations, you know, they want to play in game.
I could put him in B, honestly.
You could put him in B. I mean,
I think Kobe White winning Most Improved was awesome. Oh, wait, no, he got snubbed.
Yeah, second.
He got snubbed for this. Never mind, he didn't even win it.
Yeah. Nas Reed.
It's crazy.
No, he was 6 man.
Oh, he was.
Nas Reed was 6 man.
All right.
Who was most improved this last year? It was wasn't Tyrese? Was it Tyrese?
It was Tyrese.
I thought it was Tyrese.
I think honestly, I put this team in C next to the Hawks.
I'm cool with that. I agree.
All right, Donnie, tell us where the Nets go. I know where I would put them.
I'm in charge of the Nets.
What you know about?
I feel like they're kind of dog ass. I mean, they had who's the fucker?
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges. He's been kind of balling for them. Who's that dude with the colorful hair for him?
Cam Thomas? No, Nick Claxton.
Oh, okay, that Claxton.
Yeah, you always took us over on rebounds, didn't you?
No, fuck Claxton, dude. That asshole broke me so many times. I can't even think of his fucking name. I think they'd be like a B, maybe C.
I mean,
I don't disagree with that, honestly.
I like B.
I was thinking C or B.
I like B.
I like B too. They won 39 games. It's not too bad, but
Yeah.
you definitely no. They went 32-50, but I think Mikal Bridges was injured for some of it.
He was injured for a lot. I mean, what was it like? He broke his streak this year of
games that he was going to
that he
start.
started or played in.
Played all 82 games.
He
most
played
seasons.
every other season that he had. He played every game, which was sick. And then this year he had injuries. But
Yeah.
I'm cool with putting him at B. I mean, there was no expectations for this
Right,
team.
they're kind of like the Utah Jazz. They're just a couple pieces away.
Yeah.
They need more depth and better coaching.
I'd put him. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Thunder. I don't know if I want to put him at A or S, but it's one of the two.
I'm thinking S, especially if we include up to this point, they just got Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. I think this
Jeremy
team deserves
Sochan.
an S. Oh, Jeremy Sohan, he's on the Spurs.
He was talking. Oh no, yeah, he was talking. Yeah.
I'm cool with this going to S.
I'm cool with it too. I am. I mean, they were the 1 seed. They had just a crazy.
Their inexperience
Shea.
got them.
Yeah. Warriors. Oh man, I think you can put them in D.
Yeah, I think Klay Thompson's downfall this year is really what got him, and I thought
being able to stay on the floor.
Yeah, I thought with Chris Paul they would do a little bit better, but a veteran point guard that can do what every other point guard can do only does you so much. I think Jonathan Kuminga was a great bright spot on this team. Yeah. Trace Jackson Davis was really
Andrew
good
Wiggins
too.
had the Monstars came and stole his fucking talent from him.
Literally.
I don't know what happened to him after the 2022 finals. He just fucking
fell off the face of the earth. I think
Boston's S.
Yep.
Boston's
Nothing much to say about there. We've already talked about them a lot. The Lakers.
I'm cool with a B. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough because considering what happened the season before, and the fact that with the defending champs, even though they lost in 5. They looked like the better team most of this series.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy,
and they won the play-in tournament.
And they won the play-in tournament.
I mean the mid-season tournament.
In-season, yeah.
Yeah, that's very valid. If we're talking about the season included in this, yes, 100%. They definitely deserve B.
And I think to finish it off, I like A for the Magic.
I like A for the Magic too, kind of filling that spot there.
And they're just going to keep rising.
They are. Their talent's finally coming to fruition and what it needs to be. And like I said, Jalen Suggs, he's my boy. I've really come to like him this year, and like you said, they're only going to get better. So I'm excited for who they're going to pick, who they might pick up for vets in the offseason.
Yep.
It's going to be good. So this is our
final.
This is the over the line official tier list of the 2024 NBA season.
In terms of expectations, not in terms of their actual final
because
performance.
the Bucks would not be in the D tier.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah,
and the Portland would not be two tiers above the Suns and Clippers.
Yeah, and the team behind them is going right there with them.
Yeah.
that was funny. All right, let's see what our next segment is. Next talking point is going to be, what was your guys' favorite playoff matchup this year? I think I know mine.
It comes down to 2. The first one that comes to mind is definitely, in my opinion, the Nuggets Timberwolves series. That was awesome. But a sleeper in my eyes was
in my eyes mentioned.
Yeah, the over under was probably 2.5 going into this episode, and we're at 1. I would say a sleeper for me was the Knicks and 76ers series.
That is a sleeper. Those first round series goes under the radar.
The 76ers Pacers series was also absolutely amazing.
The Knicks Pacers series?
Sorry, yeah, the Knicks Pacers series was amazing. But the Knicks 76ers series is like more of a sleeper for me. There were just so many big moments in that game. I mean,
especially Game 5.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey hitting crazy game winners, Jalen Brunson having 50 bombs.
Yeah, he was going nuts.
Dante DiVincenzo having game winners. It was just Josh Hart didn't Josh Hart have a game winner that series?
No, Josh Hart is the one who got the steal that led to the game winner, I think.
Yeah. No, just overall a lot of like great games, a lot of really good performances, and a lot of good endings, and just an overall hard fought series. And I thought that was one of my favorites to watch in terms of, especially because most of the first rounders were they were beating up on each other.
Yeah.
Like they were just blowouts, and the fact that we had that series that we knew was like
damn, these boys are already they already killed each other through the first series. It was pretty cool. So I'd say those three. I mean, not talking about the Pacers next series because that one was awesome too, but more of a sleeper. My number one would probably be Minnesota Nuggets though.
Yeah. What about you, Donnie?
Minnesota Nuggets is gonna probably be my answer. That was just
Yeah.
that was just balling.
It was tough because every other game before Game 7 was a blowout. So it was that was the hard part about that series. I think another sleeper that I really liked was Mavs Thunder.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that series.
You know, that was 6.
Luka got his ass beat that series too, and the fact that he responded and
PJ just had an insane.
He
had
was going nuts.
Career series.
Yeah, he made the free throws that won him the series.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Yeah, so it was really good series and really competitive up until the end. So I think that would probably be my favorite matchup. I would look forward to those series.
I like the matchup of Shea and Luka. Just like both of them kind of feeling like they were snubbed with MVP.
Yeah,
young guys on the rise. I liked it.
Yeah. Shai was going crazy. Mm-hmm. All right, what's one player you guys grew to love through this season?
Grew to love.
Or one player that kind of came under your radar that you're like,
well,
I like him.
If I can be a little biased, I would say Brandon Miller. I mean, he just seeing the fact. So we obviously didn't have the podcast going at this time, but I was really against taking Brandon Miller up until about like a week before the draft.
Yeah.
And then after that point, even while everyone else wanted us to take Scoot, I was pretty locked into Brandon Miller. I watched him at Alabama all season. I watched him play Michigan State and beat us in his like 3rd career game ever. And watched that, like I knew what he was capable of, and I'm thinking most other seasons when you don't have a freaking unicorn, he wins Rookie of the Year. And him being on my team too, and him trying to look, you can just tell how much he really cared because it's nice as a Hornets fan to see, with all I'm used to is guys just not giving a fuck about the season, and then you have a guy come in and actually care, and he's yelling at guys to get back on defense, and he's not out, posting him at parties like Mello and all that stuff all the time. Or
Melo's riding his go-kart up the
exactly
on the roof.
He's not beating his wife like Miles. He's not, he's out here like actually just hooping and caring about ball and yeah, there was a lot of those.
The announcer's cool too.
Yeah, love that guy. And so I would say if I want to be like biased, I'd say him. But in terms of a non Hornets player, I'd say Shai. I still go back and forth with what I say, but I really liked seeing the way he played. Bro's got crazy aura. I don't know. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He's so smooth. He's so smooth, but he's not. Like he's so clanky. He's so unorthodox. But I just love that his body control is amazing.
His step throughs are crazy.
They're just he's one of my favorite guys, and I liked how he's one of those guys that just doesn't talk. Like
he doesn't.
He goes out there and he hoops and he just balls. Like besides on his Instagram captions, he doesn't really say much. And I really liked him, watching him grow. I liked how under the radar he was and how he got his team. He pretty much carried his team to a 1 seed.
Right.
And no one talks about how impressive that is, especially in an insanely stacked Western Conference. And I think that going into next season, he's going to be a top 3 favorite to win MVP. And I'm excited to see how he gets better as well.
Great picks there. I'd say my bias pick is Asar Thompson, just the rookie for the Pistons.
So you're a rookie, yeah.
Yeah, he's not anything crazy, but he's a super athlete and he plays really hard. And he was one of the very few Pistons players that actually looked like he wanted to win. Mm-hmm. And I love players that hustle, guys that want to win. And I could just tell that he wanted to win, and it was just a very unfortunate situation for him. And I wish the best of luck to the Pistons next year to hope that he wants to stay. I would say my unbiased pick, I mentioned him earlier, Jalen Suggs. He had a lot of really good games this year.
I like it.
He's
another person I was thinking of when I saw that itinerary early was Paulo.
Yeah.
So I was going to talk about him.
Dude, Paulo's sick too.
That reminded me of
Paulo's
him.
absolutely sick. Yeah. I think I've also really come to like Jokic a lot too. I wasn't ever really much of a fan of the Joker before, but this season when we watched him play in real life, we didn't get to see much of him, but in real life, bro does have aura.
Dude, I remember that was BS. His freaking one game he's ever been ejected from in his entire career. I bet on his overs, and he was having an insane game, and before the halftime, he gets ejected.
Yeah, and we happened to be there for it.
We were there for it. That was so annoying.
Yeah, the one game we went to this year. We got to go to more next year.
Yeah, for sure.
We should go to the Hornets one, but... Jalen Suggs, I think...
How about you, Donnie?
Talked about him before. Dunham, who's
Bro, it's toiletable out. It's crazy.
Dude's playing golf, bro. Who's a player you came to love this year? Connor, is it still filming?
Who I came to love. I didn't really watch much ball this year, can't lie. I like,
Who's a player you bet on that hit for you?
I mean, you gotta shout out fucking, oh my god, who's that big white center? Potel?
Pirtle?
No,
Pirtle.
Yeah.
No,
Jakob.
the fucking,
White center from the Raptors.
yeah.
Pirtle.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what we were playing.
That's what we were playing earlier. That was his last name.
Yeah, I was curious as why I fucking didn't sound like Wordle, but yeah, no, that was he always was good for me. I just think that Anthony Towns is just like this him becoming a star is just really fun to see.
I've never heard him
I was just gonna
referenced.
say that.
I've never heard him referenced as Anthony Towns.
I mean, it's his name, but it's his last name. But
No, Anthony Edwards.
Oh.
Anthony Edwards. Jesus Christ, dude.
I thought you were calling Carl Anthony Towns
No.
like Anthony
Anthony
Towns.
Towns.
That's crazy.
No, Anthony Edwards.
Ant's a fucking
It's a really
dog,
good-
He's a
dude.
fun guy to watch.
That was a
Yeah,
dog.
no, that's a very good answer, Dunham. I like that.
Thank you.
Who's the one player you grew to hate, Dunny? Is there a player you don't like now after this season in the NBA?
Draymond just still sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I love Draymond.
I agree with you on Draymond.
I don't know. I think then like Giannis was kind of a tool this year.
Interesting.
Then he like you want like that game ball when he like
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
once he
yeah.
like stormed in the tunnel.
I
and
think
shit.
that you can see both sides on
Yeah, I
that,
can see
though.
both sides on that for sure.
The
Like,
Pacers
he
were...
needed that. But he had his first 60 piece, and he just wanted the ball, and they freaking gave it to. They were trying to keep it for was it Jalen Smith who got his first career bucket? It was Pacers, right? Jalen Smith.
Yeah,
There's the Maryland.
That's where the rivalry came from.
Yeah.
People are trying to make that a narrative around one.
Yeah, the Maryland
They're
guy.
like, oh, this team
scored
has
his
history.
first
These
ever
teams
bucket.
have history.
And they were like, they took the ball to give to him because he scored his first point, but like, they lost, and Giannis had his first 60 piece, and
Yeah,
like,
he went storming into the tunnel for that.
I feel like it's like some other like whack shit, like doing like a free throw is like rude to someone or something.
Oh, yeah, he shoved the ladder out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they weren't letting him warm up. I don't know, I'm a big Giannis dick sucker, but
Giannis
I
Glazer
think that
over
was
here.
really cool of him.
Yeezer.
I think he should be better.
Alright.
I'd say Jamal Murray.
You don't like
I
Jamal
don't really
Murray?
like Jamal Murray too much. I think he's kind of like he talks way too much shit, and that kind of goes hand in hand. I know it's not the actual guy, but dude, Mike Malone is like
Up his ass?
I don't like him at all. I mean, I just hate how when they won, all they did was talk so much shit, and then they lose, and they were just the most sore losers ever. And it's like you can't talk the talk and then go into your press conference after you lose and be like stupid questions, blah blah blah. I don't want to answer. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He's just a cocky motherfucker, and I don't know. I didn't like how he was this season after coming off of all that shit talking when he won, and then kind of becoming like a pretty sore loser. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that much out of him, and I don't know. I guess that I wasn't a big fan of Jamal Murray this year, but
One player I don't like is his twin, DeJounte Murray.
really,
I really have grown to not just like him.
Yeah.
Even after I saw, this was from a while ago too, that clip of him in the Drew League or whatever, bouncing the ball off that dude's head, like just as soon as he got out of San Antonio, he just became like this just asshole hooper.
Mhm.
And now it's just like, you can tell he's in a new environment and his team's not winning. His
Yeah.
team is still mid. And it's probably just because they have Trae Young. If Trae Young wasn't there, this team would be even worse.
Yeah.
And there was a trade package I saw that the Pistons, like, I don't know if this was real or not, but the Pistons, like some Pistons account came up with like a trade package for DeJounte Murray, and I was like, oh god. Because it involved Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, like our first pick in this year's draft, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, dude, let's not do this. I don't want DeJounte on this team. That'd be so bad. Like, he does have that, like, Detroit mentality, I guess, but
Yeah.
dude does not want to win.
Yeah, I agree.
So, that's
I like
just one
that.
player
I like
I've
that
grown
pick.
to not really enjoy. So, yeah, this episode's getting pretty long. We're at an hour and 10, so
I say we can talk about this.
we can talk about the JJ thing.
and then maybe the Caruso trade.
Yeah,
And then after that, we can save.
We can
Well,
save
the
the
draft's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, we could do. We could talk about our Pistons and Hornets talk in the draft.
Yeah.
Little
Cool.
draft preview.
Cool.
But yeah, let's finish it off talking about just starting off with.
Start with the JJ thing, because that happened first.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a coach signing, and the Lakers have signed JJ Redick, and I want to hear your initial reaction to that.
Well, we obviously have known for 2 months that maybe not that he was going to be there, but just like the talk of it.
Yeah.
So I've kind of had a long time now to like actually start to like think about it and think what it's actually going to be like, because it almost was just like an inevitable thing after Dan really rejected the position.
Yeah.
The big thing with JJ is just like he has a great basketball mind, and what I like about him is that I feel like he's just a great communicator. And he's the type of guy that the Lakers need. They need accountability on their team, and they need someone who's going to be able to not be afraid to talk to these stars and let them know when they're not living up to their potential. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been their problem, I think, in previous years with Darvin Ham and everyone.
Everyone's so afraid of LeBron.
Exactly, and you have someone like JJ who has a freaking podcast with him, who's been a player that has been a friend of his for a long time. And I'm really curious to see how that's going to like mesh when you have a guy that's like younger than you. And I know Boston had it, but like a guy that's the same age as a lot of the players is out there coaching them.
A guy who a lot of these guys have played against.
Exactly.
Or even been teammates of Jackson
exactly.
Hayes.
Yeah.
So
and that's just one
crazy.
thing I think is going to be pretty cool to see, because we don't really see that very often.
No.
But I am excited to see that. The next closest thing I could think of is like Steve Nash when he was coaching right off the bat.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
At Brooklyn. And
yeah, that was a disaster.
It was a disaster, but I don't know. I know JJ is a smart guy. I think what he's going to do that's great is, like I said, I think he's going to hold players accountable, and I think he's going to be a good communicator and, bring that to the Lakers, and that's something that they definitely need. He's a good X's and O's guy too, so don't get me wrong on that. His lack of experience could hurt him. I just don't want to see JJ finally get his chance that he's been wanting to coach for a long time and get it, and then the Lakers do the same thing that they've done to every coach they've had recently and just put 100% blame on him and use their coach as a scapegoat, and then fire JJ, and then he can't get a job anymore because they're like, oh, this guy can't coach.
Yeah,
I hope that doesn't happen
Ham's
to him.
NBA career is ruined.
I mean, yeah. Well, he's gonna go assistant coach with Bucks. I think.
Okay.
I think he just got hired with the Bucks as an assistant, which is great. I'm glad to see that he's going to another. He's obviously not a head coach. He's not a leader. So hopefully he's still a good basketball mind. So hopefully going into them can help. But yeah, I just kind of overall am excited to see what's gonna come out of it. It's something that we definitely haven't seen really before, and it should be interesting for sure.
It will be, and I agree with you on everything. I think he will hold players accountable, and I think just the fact he has a good relationship with LeBron James is the next piece of the puzzle. A lot of these coaches, especially the only one besides Tyronn Lue didn't stand up to LeBron. Yeah. There's that story of where Tyronn Lue's first game, he was coaching for Cleveland when he got hired. LeBron tried coaching the team instead of him, and Tyronn Lue was like, "No, it's my team. I'm the coach. Let me do my thing."
Yeah.
And LeBron respected that, and they listened, and they won the championship that year. Yeah. And because of Kevin Durant, I think they would have repeated if Golden State didn't get Durant. But NBA stuff happens. Mm-hmm. But I do think having a good relationship with the King is gonna propel this team to what they should have been all these past 5 years. So. I'm really excited to see how this turns out, and I think it could go either way. This could be a disaster season for the Lakers, or they could be AS tier.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah. Are you excited for JJ Redick?
I think it's exciting, man. It brings. I feel like they had such a coaching crisis for so long.
Yes,
they needed something, and Tyronn was. I mean, but he's just going to give them that spark. They're gonna follow behind him. LeBron being a ringleader, I mean, that's going to blend perfectly.
I wonder if they'll keep their podcast up.
I wondered that too. I really do.
That'd be really interesting.
It's crazy that the Lakers came out and said that he had nothing to do with LeBron, had nothing to do with 0% with the hire, but that's so cap. That's what the Lakers came out and said, which was just
I think
crazy.
That's probably cap. But anyway, yeah, we're all excited to see what JJ has to offer. And Donnie, your boy Caruso, I'm sure you bet on him before. He just got traded to the Thunder.
I saw that.
So,
he's a defensive stud, dude. And Giddey he underperformed this year hard. And
he did.
I think there's a world where he can bounce back next year. But I think it's a decently even trade. But I think the Thunder's defense is just gonna be so fucking clamped, dude.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
back there too. Oh my god. Lou Dort and Caruso.
It's going to be gross. So
oh, my God.
I think it's going to be definitely very beneficial for the Thunder, but I think that it could work out for chance works out for the Bulls, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Giddey was just behind with all the other young talent OKC had. Everyone else kind of bloomed, and Josh Giddey just never really got that chance, I don't think.
Yeah.
And he's a very ball-dominant player. I think it'd be interesting if the Bulls tried to run him at point a couple times. I think that might be...
He's going to be. They're definitely going to move Kobe White off the ball again because he originally wasn't.
Right. They should keep Kobe White coming off the bench, too, for when
I don't know.
Josh Giddey goes out. I think
maybe not for this, because they're going to go straight into rebuild mode, I think. I mean, I would be really surprised.
they need to get rid of Levine.
DeMar and Levine are both, and Vucevic. If I was the Bulls GM, I'd be moving every one of them.
Yeah, but it sucks because it's... You know, the thing was, Levine was supposed to get traded to Detroit.
Yeah.
And then he got season-ending surgery.
He still might.
So he was like, nah, I want to stay in Chicago a little longer.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think, you know, I think this is an absolute... Starting on just the Giddey thing. You know, the Bulls should have traded Caruso earlier. I think they could have got more for him. They're finally, I think, starting to realize that they're going into rebuild mode a little bit. And, you know, as much as this seems like a loss for the Bulls in the trade, there are some good things to take from it. You know, Giddey, his rookie season had averaged like 16, 8, and 5.
He had a case for rookie of the year.
Yeah, he was just a great rookie. And everything that happened this year with his off the court stuff,
that
definitely matters and definitely affects you. And then especially just with the emergence of all these other good young stars on OKC, that's kind of been pushing him out of the rotation a little bit, and he really just struggled with his shot down the stretch. But I think now going to a worse team where he's going to be able to have more shots and everything and more freedom, he's definitely going to get back to blooming to where he, you know, the trajectory he was going on. And I do like the acquisition for the Bulls because there's no need for Caruso at this point.
Yeah.
And, but if we're going over to the Thunder, this was just an absolute home run trade.
Yeah.
Like as good as it could have been. And you know, this is exactly what they needed. Caruso is so good at fouling or reaching without fouling. Yeah. He's so good at, you know, he brings that defensive intensity that they needed, and
he's a veteran leader.
Exactly. And the Thunder's whole identity is causing turnovers, and that's exactly what he's all about. You know, he could come in, he could start, he could come off the bench. He's so versatile. And what really was good about this trade is that the Thunder have leverage. You know, they have so many picks, and they have such a good team that, you know, I wonder to myself, like, you know, if they could have got anything better for Giddey, you know, I wonder. It's crazy to me that they didn't give any draft compensation to them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the Bulls should have been asking for.
But you think about it, and what I was going to say was they just have so much leverage. So I'm sure the Bulls did ask for compensation, but like the Thunder look at this trade and they think, we don't need your trade. You know, we have so many picks and so many players that we can go to other teams and get more. Yeah. And I'm sure they had other teams that were reaching out to them, also wanting to make acquisitions, because you know that they're on that right now, and they're gonna continue to try and make moves. So they really just had the leverage in this trade, and overall, I like it for both teams. Way more for the Thunder, obviously, but you know the Bulls need to move on from these older players and just kind of, you know, just clean house and wipe. And I like that they're going in that direction, even though I don't necessarily think that this is a win for the Bulls. If I had to grade it, it'd be an A+ for the Thunder and probably a C for the Bulls.
Yeah, it's a you know, just a push situation, no win-loss.
I agree. On the Bulls side,
You're given, you know, Caruso, he gave you 2 solid years.
You're taking a chance on a younger guy that has shown promise, and you're moving on from one of the most attractive role players in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, Alex Caruso, he reminds me of just Derek White. Like, he's a Derek White kind of guy.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
He really is. And so overall, those are just kind of my overall thoughts on it.
Yeah, I honestly, I love this trade for the Thunder. He was kind of the difference. He was the player they were missing against the Mavs this year.
I agree.
And it's going to be really exciting. I just hope he can stay healthy. I know he's had injury problems in the past, especially these last 2 years with the Bulls. But if he can stay healthy, this Thunder team is going to be very scary next year. And that's why, you know, I think a Thunder-Celtics finals might be the best we can see right now. That might be like the prediction right now for me. Mm-hmm. I would say like Celtics Thunder is very in the realm of possibilities for 2025 finals. And, you know, Caruso can make that a lot closer. I still think the Thunder need more, though, especially coming off the bench.
And I don't think they're done.
No, they're definitely not done. They're going to make some signings. They have cap space. All their guys are on rookie young
Rookie,
contract
yeah.
still besides
They're in such a
Shea.
good spot. Yeah.
But yeah, very exciting trade for the Thunder. I think it's an exciting trade for the Bulls too. They got a clean house and they're gonna have a young team. They're gonna be, kind of Pistons and Hawks situation. If they still have Levine, they're gonna kind of just be mid again like the Hawks. And I think they just kind of need to stop riding that line and just make a choice. And
I think it's pretty clear right now that they are going to move on.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to go.
yeah, Levine, Vucevic.
At least Levine.
They got to at least get some more young guys to pair with Giddey too. They got to kind of decide who they
Kobe
want.
White, luckily, was that was great.
They might just want to build around him now. Honestly,
They could. Before we end, did you say you had like a game?
Oh yeah, shoot, we forgot to do that in the middle. I can still edit this in the middle, but yeah,
We can put it at the end, man.
It's game time now. I got some questions to ask.
Sonny, are you even in the video anymore?
Dunny's back in frame. So I got some questions I'm going to ask Connor here. I'm going to test his Hornets knowledge today. And yeah, so we're going to see if you can guess the leading scorer of the past 10 seasons for the Hornets.
Like overall?
We're going to go year by year.
Damn.
And you have to guess the leading scorer. And
Okay, starting in
for these 10 seasons, I'm going to give you 5 strikes.
Is this like points per game leader?
Points per game leader.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you 5 strikes.
Okay.
And we're going to go year by year. You have to get the player on the year I'm doing. So we're going to start with this past season, 2024. LaMelo is correct with 23 points per game.
Okay.
Let's go 2022-2023 season.
I'll also say LaMelo.
That is correct.
Okay, that's what I thought.
23 points per game again. Let's go 2021-2022 season. Who is the leading scorer of the Hornets? That brain is thinking.
I'm trying to decide.
Donnie, don't tell him.
You see it?
You want to look at it with me?
Oh.
We're right here. We're on this one right now.
For the 2021-2022 season.
Yes.
Okay, so was it Terry Rozier?
No.
Damn.
First strike.
Who was it?
Well, you gotta get it.
Oh, I thought you might have had 5 like throughout the. Oh shit. Oh dang. Okay. Dude, I might lose them all right here. Wasn't Gordon. It probably wasn't Miles. Bro, if it wasn't, I don't want to guess LaMelo again. I don't think it was LaMelo because this was his rookie year, and even though he had a great rookie year, I don't know if it was.
It actually wasn't.
It wasn't his rookie year. It was his second year. Yeah. I'm just gonna lose all my strikes. I'm just gonna guess the whole starting 5. I feel like. I guess I'll guess LaMelo again.
Was not LaMelo.
Lord. All right. Man.
Come on, Con.
Was it Miles?
It was Miles.
Okay.
20 points per game this year.
Okay.
Pretty impressive for Miles.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with the 2021 season.
So Melo only had 16 or something points a game this year. I don't think that would have been enough to lead. So which makes me think this would have been the year that it was Terry Rozier.
It is the year it was Terry Rozier.
Okay.
18 points per game.
Okay. So now we're on 19?
We're at 1920.
1920. Okay, so this would have been Kemba Walker.
No.
What?
Kemba was on the
year before?
Celtics this year.
Yeah, damn, he was. Okay. Scratch that. That was stupid. Okay.
So you're at 3 strikes.
Damn, dude, I'm so cooked.
This one's the hardest one
Yeah,
of them all.
I'm imagining. I would imagine. Okay, let me use my thinking head.
What do you think you cap on?
So this is
2019, 2020. The year the Lakers won the chip.
Yeah, so COVID year. It definitely wasn't Batum. It definitely wasn't. Dwight Howard was gone by this point.
Dwight Howard in a Hornets jersey still gives me
Yeah,
nightmares.
right. He had some great games. He had some
Dude, he
20,
did. He
had
was
some
shooting
2020s.
threes for you guys.
He had some 2020s, which was sick. Was it Devontae Graham?
No way you just pulled
Was
that
it?
out.
Was
That's
it?
crazy.
Wow.
Devontae Graham, 18 points per game.
Kind of a chance now.
He had a game. He had a season that year.
He did. He was just now he's on the Spurs, just
Yeah.
doing nothing.
He went to the Pelicans and played pretty well right after he got traded.
Yeah.
So then the year before. So now we're on.
Now it is 2018-19.
Okay, so Kemba.
Kemba Walker, 25 points per game. That's the most he ever averaged for the
Okay.
Hornets.
Yeah.
Let's
7.
go with 17-18.
Kemba.
Kemba, 22 points per game.
Yep.
Let's go with 16-17.
Kemba.
Kemba, 23 points per game.
Okay.
Let's go with 15-16.
Kemba.
Kemba, 20 points per game.
Do I have any more strikes?
You have 2 more strikes. Now.
Okay, and it's
Let's
last
go
one.
with 14-15.
So is this the last one? Or
Yeah.
is one more?
This is the last one.
Kemba.
Yep, 17.3 points per game. Now, bonus question. This player was 0.1 behind him in points per game.
In what year?
2014-15. Who do you think it was?
My original thought is Batum.
He was not there at this point.
He wasn't there yet?
No, he
14,
was on
15?
this is
And it
in
wasn't.
15-16. That's when he came to the Hornets.
Was it Michael Kidd-Gilchrist?
Not MKJ.
Was it is that a hard one?
He's a role player for sure.
Currently?
He's not in the league still, but I don't think. But he's a role player. He's a solid role player.
At the time, was he a role player? I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh damn. Was it
I can give you the position too if it's too hard.
what's the position?
Power forward.
It's not Al Jefferson, is it?
No.
He was gone.
That's a
by
good
then.
guess
He was
though.
gone by
No,
then.
he was on the team still.
Was he?
That's a great guess. Al Jefferson.
So is it-
Al Jefferson was like right behind him at like.
I bet. Power forward then.
Yeah, it's
what's-
crazy. You wouldn't think he'd be competing with Kemba.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, was it Frank Kaminsky?
Not Frank. He wasn't in the league yet.
Yeah, because he was 15.
Yeah.
16 was his first year. Because 2015 they made the
Yeah.
championship and lost to Kentucky. Or no, lost to Duke. Sorry, and Julio Okafor. Damn, dude. Power forward. I'm not thinking of it. It's not.
I think if you don't get it and I say it, you're gonna be like, oh shit.
It's great to hear.
Yeah.
Give me one more chance to guess. The final guy.
This is the final guess.
Yeah.
You're out of strikes.
Well, I got them all already.
Either
Give me
home-
seconds now. And
It's
10 years ago.
It's either home run or
Yeah.
Down to the wire.
yeah, you're about to jump over the line.
I was gonna say fucking word line joke.
All right. Give me.
Give him what? What are we giving? What am I giving you?
I feel like I need another hint.
You need another hint?
Yeah.
He was. Do you like what? What's a good hint you prefer?
Like,
Like play style? Like
no, like,
skin color?
where did he
Like,
go after? Did he retire or did he go somewhere else?
He, I believe. Let me check.
Or where he came from, maybe. He competed with Kemba, huh? I guess it was 2014.
Oh, Con, I'm tripping. This guy did not freaking. Wait, I need to check this Hornets team. Hold on.
That's the wrong dude.
I think that is the wrong
Bro.
dude.
Dude, that's definitely the wrong dude.
Hold on.
Did you cook me, dude?
I think I might have cooked you.
I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here like, who the hell?
I think I might have cooked you. Steve Clifford was the coach of this team. Did you know that?
Yep, he left and came back. Coached 1 year at the Magic and didn't do very good and came back.
Okay, this guy's a point guard. My bad.
Oh, okay.
He's a point guard, and he was a veteran point guard at the time. And the team he went to after this was the Cavs.
Was it Ish Smith?
Not Ish Smith.
Was it, Ish Smith wasn't there yet. He was later on.
Ish Smith is a dog too.
He went to the Cavs, huh?
Yeah. See, the tough part about this is he only played 27 games for them this year.
Yeah, dude.
The other person after this is Al Jefferson.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
Who is it?
Mo Williams.
Oh my God, Mo Williams. He's not a point guard.
Mo?
He's a power forward.
Marvin Williams is a power forward. Mo Williams was on this team, though. Look. Mo Williams. There's Marvin. He only averaged 10.
Okay.
No, Marvin averaged
Still
7.
though. Fucking Gerald Henderson, dude.
Gerald Henderson.
What a bum. Mo Williams, dude. Oh my god. That's crazy. I forgot he even played for the Hornets.
Yeah, me too. He only played 27 games, that's why. But
All right. Well,
this episode has gone on long enough. We appreciate you guys checking out and staying till the end if you did.
we'll be back Tuesday.
We will be back very, very soon. We're blessing you with 2 games this week, and like I said earlier, check out.
There'll probably be a third, considering we'll probably do a draft recap kind of thing at some point.
Well, we're gonna do a live draft reaction.
Yeah,
I forgot to
And let me
mention
know
that.
when you guys are doing that.
Oh, yeah,
hop
bet,
yeah.
on and I
Yeah,
can
sure.
join whatever.
Yeah, Dunny, you got any closing remarks about anything we talked about that you maybe didn't get to say if we cut you off or anything?
I think, that's really all I had. I know you're talking about the Pistons next episode, but the Monty Williams firing. Is just like,
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. That is gonna be exciting.
It's
I
a,
can't
it's a
wait.
bummer for the money, but I mean,
Yeah.
it'll allow that kind
Well,
of.
we'll be able to hire any coach that
Yeah,
any coach we want still, but still we're getting to pay Monty Williams for sitting at home and stuff. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Dunham, and
Glad to be here.
good episode. I think we recapped a lot, and
Yes,
we're all
sir.
caught up, and we're
We
ready.
got some more to talk about on Tuesday.
We're ready to get going. So
Big draft episode.
looking
We're
forward
gonna
to
do some
it.
Hornets and Pistons talk specifically. Get a little bit deeper into that, and then we'll do a draft preview, and then Wednesday we'll be doing
Live draft reaction.
live draft reaction.
And we're going to also put our predictions in for what we think. So we're going to have a little friendly
Yeah,
competition, see who
exactly.
gets more draft
Dunny's gonna
things
get it
right.
all perfect.
Yeah, Johnny, you got to do that too. You got to
I'll do
predict
it.
who you
I'll
think's
do
going
it.
where. So
I'll ace it. Don't worry.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, you got anything else to say? Close this out.
Nope. All good.
All right. Thanks for listening to Over the Line podcast, and
See you next time.
peace out.
Peace out.